3, 2, 1.
Did you know the Top Gun Maverick achieved something that seemed impossible in Hollywood? Not only did it surpass its predecessor's box office after a 36-year gap, but it also became Tom Cruise's highest-grossing film ever, earning a staggering $1.496 billion worldwide. Even more remarkably, it holds a 96% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, compared to the original's 58%. How did a sequel released nearly 4 decades after the original manage to not just match, but surpass its iconic predecessor in nearly every way? The stakes were incredibly high. The original Top Gun had become a cultural phenomenon, defining the 1980s with its high-octane action and memorable quotes. Yet somehow, Top Gun Maverick managed to soar past everyone's expectations, earning Academy Award nominations and universal praise from both critics and audiences alike. Today, we're going to break down the 7 key reasons why Maverick isn't just a worthy successor, it's actually way better than the original. But before we dive into what makes the sequel so special, a real quick ask that if you're new to the channel or haven't subscribed, please take a quick second to hit that subscribe button now. It's one small click for you, but a huge deal for us. Thanks. Now, let's ride into the danger zone and explore why Top Gun Maverick sets a new standard for legacy sequels. Reason number 1. Practical effects versus CGI. Let's start with perhaps the most visually striking difference between the two films, the aerial sequences. While the original Top Gun was groundbreaking for its time, Maverick takes flight sequences to an entirely new level by doing something almost unheard of in modern blockbusters, shooting everything practically. In an age where most movies rely heavily on CGI, director Joseph Kosinski and Tom Cruise insisted on capturing real FA-18 Super Hornets in actual flight. The production team installed 6 IMAX-certified cameras inside each cockpit, capturing every G-force-induced facial expression and every stomach-churning maneuver in stunning clarity. The difference is immediately apparent. While the original Top Gun's dogfights were thrilling, they often relied on stock footage and basic camera techniques. In contrast, Maverick puts you right in the cockpit, something no bulky 80s film camera could ever hope to do. Every violent shake, every gut-wrenching roll, every near miss, it's all real. The actors aren't just pretending to experience intense G-forces, they're actually feeling them. This commitment to authenticity required the cast to undergo intensive fighter pilot training. Tom Cruise himself designed a 3-month aviation program to prepare his co-stars for the physical demands of flying. The result? When you see these actors struggling to maintain consciousness during high-G maneuvers, those reactions are genuine. Reason number 2. Emotional depth and character development. While the original Top Gun gave us memorable characters, Maverick dives deeper into their psychological makeup and emotional struggles. The 1986 film presented Pete Maverick Mitchell as a cocky, talented pilot who needed to learn teamwork. The sequel shows us a man haunted by his past, struggling with guilt, and facing his own mortality. The relationship between Maverick and Rooster, played by Miles Teller, forms the emotional core of the film. Unlike the original's somewhat simplistic rivalries, this relationship is layered with complexity. Rooster isn't just Goose's son, he's a living reminder of Maverick's greatest failure and deepest regret. Their dynamic explores themes of legacy, responsibility, and redemption in ways the original never could have attempted. Even the supporting characters received more nuanced treatment. The rivalry between Rooster and Hangman evolves beyond the simple Maverick-Iceman dynamic of the original. The female characters, particularly Jennifer Connelly's Penny Benjamin, are given agency and depth rather than serving merely as romantic interests. Reason number 3. Modernized stakes and mission. One of the most significant improvements in Maverick is how it raises the stakes while keeping them grounded in reality. The original Top Gun's climactic mission, while exciting, felt somewhat disconnected from the rest of the film. In contrast, Maverick's mission is woven into the fabric of the entire story. The target, a uranium enrichment facility buried deep in mountainous terrain, requires pilots to navigate a treacherous canyon at extremely low altitude, hit a precise target, and pull off a near-impossible climb to escape. This isn't just another training exercise, it's a mission that pushes the limits of what's humanly possible. The film brilliantly builds tension by showing us exactly what the pilots are up against. We see the detailed mission planning, the failed training attempts, and the devastating consequences of even minor mistakes. When the actual mission begins, we understand every challenge and risk they face. Reason number 4. Legacy and time. While the original Top Gun was very much a product of its time, Maverick uses the passage of time to its advantage. The film doesn't try to recapture the 80s. Instead, it explores when an ace pilot from that era faces a rapidly changing world. The tension between human pilots and automated drones isn't just a subplot, it's central to the film's theme. When Ed Harris's character tells Maverick that his kind is heading for extinction, it raises questions about the value of human experience in an increasingly automated world. The film also handles nostalgia masterfully. Rather than simply recreating famous scenes, it uses callbacks to the original to deepen the emotional impact. When Rooster plays Great Balls of Fire at the bar, it's not just fan service, it's a moment that carries real emotional weight for Maverick. Reason number 5, improved visual storytelling. Let's talk about how Maverick elevates its storytelling through superior cinematography and direction. While Tony Scott's original had a very distinctive visual style, Joseph Kosinski brings a new level of sophistication to the sequel. The camera work in Maverick isn't just about capturing exciting action, it's about telling a story. The IMAX cameras placed inside the cockpits don't just show us pilots flying, they capture every bead of sweat, every strained expression, and every moment of tension. When we're in the cockpit, the framing and movement help us understand the spatial relationships between aircraft, making the aerial sequences more coherent and therefore impactful. But it's not just about the action scenes. Notice how Kosinski uses light and shadow differently from the original. The iconic sunset shots aren't just pretty pictures anymore, they serve the story. When Maverick is wrestling with decisions about Rooster, we often see him in half shadow, reflecting his internal conflict. The beach football scene, while paying homage to the original's volleyball sequence and giving Tom Cruise a chance to run, is shot with a warmer palette that emphasizes team building rather than competition. Reason number 6, balanced ensemble cast. While the original Top Gun primarily focused on Maverick and his immediate circle, the sequel creates a more balanced and diverse ensemble that enriches the story. Each pilot in the new generation brings something unique to the table, and their interactions feel genuine rather than forced. Let's break down how each character contributes to the story. Phoenix, played by Monica Barbaro, isn't just Top Gun's first female fighter pilot, she's a fully realized character whose skill and determination earn respect without the script ever needing to point out her gender. Her presence naturally modernizes the franchise, while her interactions with both Maverick and her fellow pilots feel authentic to naval aviation culture. Glenn Powell's Hangman provides a fascinating modern take on the cocky rival archetype. Unlike Iceman in the original, Hangman's arrogance masks a deeper understanding of the risks they face. His arc isn't about being humbled, it's about proving that confidence and competence can coexist. The supporting cast gets meaningful development too. Lewis Pullman's Bob becomes more than comic relief, showing how technical expertise is just as crucial as flying ability. Jay Ellis's Payback and Danny Ramirez's Fanboy demonstrate the importance of teamwork in modern aerial combat. Even John Hamm's Cyclone represents a more nuanced authority figure than we saw in the original film. Reason number 7, matured themes and tone. The original Top Gun was, in many ways, a product of 1980s excess, all swagger and style. Maverick maintains the excitement while adding layers of maturity and contemplation that reflect both its characters and its audience's growth. The sequel tackles complex themes that the original never attempted to address. Through Maverick's relationship with Rooster, the film explores how our past decisions impact the next generation. The weight of Goose's death isn't just emotional backstory anymore. It's a central theme about how we handle responsibility for others' lives. The treatment of mortality is particularly sophisticated. Unlike the original's somewhat superficial handling of Goose's death, Maverick deals with death and loss in more nuanced ways. The scene with Iceman, incorporating Val Kilmer's real-life health struggles, brings a poignant reality to the story that the original never achieved. Even the film's approach to patriotism has matured. While the original sometimes felt like a recruitment video, Maverick focuses on the human element of service, the sacrifices, the risk, and the moral weight of commanding others in dangerous situations. The mission isn't about proving American superiority, it's about the human cost of necessary actions. What made it all work? The true genius of Top Gun Maverick lies in how it balances honoring the past while charting its own course. It understands what made the original special, the thrill of flight, the camaraderie, the push for excellence, but elevates these elements through superior filmmaking technology, deeper storytelling, and more nuanced character development. The film proves that legacy sequels can work when they're driven by genuine creative vision rather than simple nostalgia. It respects its audience enough to give them something new while remembering what they loved about the original. And that's it. So, what do you think made Top Gun Maverick soar so far above its predecessor? Was it the practical effects, the emotional depth, or something else entirely? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into cinema's greatest achievements. This video was made by movie fans for movie fans.